That's right here. Today we're going to be taking a look at Serath, the new hero that just dropped in version 36. So first thing we're going to do is just take a look at her and her abilities. And then we'll be building out a deck and showing you a little more. Some new things on the update today. They changed a few of the cards. Won't be going over. All the pictures here kind of gave them a little more of a cartoony look. I don't know how much I like some of the picture changes. Narbash looks a little cooler, maybe Steel looks a little cooler, but we've got Serath here. She's with the Order and Corruption. I unlocked her mastery just because why not? So she is going to be a melee carry, kind of along the lines of Greystone, but she doesn't quite have the same amount of health. She's a little weak in the health department. So her basic damage is going to do 55 with her Angelic Smite, her auto attack. Her next ability, Chastise. Pretty neat. She sweeps her wings forward, kind of like Countess's ability, but it does an AoE damage, and then it also applies a negative 125 movement speed. So a great thing to maybe hit your opponent with towards the end when they're thinking about making an escape. Heaven's Fury, kind of neat. She has a little targeted area, so when you activated it, you kind of float up in the air just a little bit, and then target your area, and you do basic damage, which is neat because the basic damage you can gain lifelink off of, which I believe this hero really needs to stay viable. One target at a time, and this happens every point. So if you've got a bunch of minions and maybe some heroes all in a group, and you target them, you're going to become invulnerable during that time to damage and crowd control while she dishes out that damage. So kind of a neat trick to pull if maybe you're getting targeted by someone's ability. Maybe Steel's coming in to drop his ult on you, and you see him quickly hit that target and become invulnerable for a second and dodge that damage. Ascend, pretty neat. She flies way up in the air, and then the targeting reticle kind of appears on the ground where you want to land, and then she swoops down and kind of smashes in that area. Very similar to Greystone, except the first animation is her flying up in the air. Once you fly up in the air, you have a couple of seconds to quickly kind of target where you want to land. If you don't, you just kind of float back down to the ground. So it could be used as an escape to maybe a Twin Blast or Murdoch shooting at you. Probably be great to maybe hop up on the ledges coming out of the river into the safe lane. Then her ultimate is Heresy. She kind of switches over into her dark side, kind of turns into more of a demon angel for first for 18 seconds. Right when she activates that ability, kind of an AoE effect that comes into place. It puts a burn stack and a weakness on each 100 units range. So that's about half the distance as her Ascend ability. So pretty decent range on that. That burn damage does 30 ability damage over 3 seconds, so a total stack of 90 at its first level. It does scale up, and then the weakness causes enemies' damage to be reduced. The first step is 90%. Don't remember exactly what the third step is. We'll look at that during the gameplay. Enemies she hits with her abilities during the duration of her Heresy have burn and weakness also applied to them. So if you don't catch them in the initial burst, you can hit them with one of your abilities, and it will add that weakness and burn to them. Burning enemies take additional damage from Serath from her basic attack, which is pretty neat. So that will scale into the lifelink as well. So if you can get them burning and then hit them with your basic attack, it's going to do a lot more damage and then therefore give you a little bit more lifelink. She has some neat skins here. Her default's just kind of silver and gold. Then she has one that's more just all silver, and then the last one is more deck build with Serath. So she is damage. She could be viable in the jungle. I think any melee fighter is viable in the jungle. right now with a Mage's Siphon or Lazarus Blade equipped. Really helps out. So we've got those thrown in with no stacks on them just for fun. But definitely the first thing we want to do is we want to add a ward. Like I said, Serath is a little lacking in the health department, so start with the Sage's ward. Yeah, 50 health's not a lot, but that little bit's going to help. It's definitely one more attack you can probably take early game. I've got that with 3 minor casts. Next, going to go right to probably Void Steel Dagger, or, well, you know what? Probably we'd want to equip Sage's ward first, and then go over to Thundercleaver, perhaps. If you've seen any of my other builds, I'm a big fan of Thundercleaver. I've got that built up as a 9-cost card. Gonna add probably all the attack speed you need with Serath, and then it's also going to give you that extra basic damage, which is neat because I think it'll combo well with her ultimate, where you can deal quite a bit of damage in a really, really short amount of time. I think that's going to be the trick to Serath, is being able to get in, do as much damage, and kind of delete a hero almost assassin style, kind of a la Countess, if you will. I've also got Void Steel Dagger equipped with all 2 costs. That's going to give us just a little bit of basic pen. Using it more anything for the bonus 12. Next, going to go with a couple of higher cost cards. We've got Curse of the Leech. I'm going to equip that with 2 3-cost powers and 1 2-cost power to round it out to 12. It's going to give us a little bit of lifelink, or life steal, I'm sorry, which will be nice. Thirst Fang, same thing, going to give us a little bit of life steal, but a little more geared towards the power. And then not really using a lot of the Order Affinity, but we're going to throw on Honor the Pure. That card did get changed today with the version 36 update. They changed the wording on its unique active. So it doesn't do a team shield, which is great, but you have to consume 100 mana now to activate that. And it shields yourself and nearby allies for 3 seconds and absorbs 125 plus 25 times player level. So, I mean, that's almost 475 damage that shield can absorb. Team Shield cannot activate or benefit another Team Shield for 15 seconds. So they did change that. We saw a lot of what was going on in this meta is we were having multiple heroes running Honor the Pure, and they were taking turns one after another in team fights activating it, which I thought was pretty neat. If you had that coordination, you shouldn't be penalized, but apparently Epic thought differently. So it's kind of neat now that there's not so much shield stacking. This isn't going to affect Muriel's shield added to it, but it will make it so that if you've got a bunch of people running Honor the Pure, they can't just be popping those shields one on top of the other and stacking them. I've got that equipped with health. That's probably the last thing we're going to throw on, just to kind of give her a little bit more sustain. So that's the build. Like I said, Lazarus build, Mage's Siphon I've got filled out just in case you get to play that jungle role. Health potion, mana potion. She could benefit maybe from a healer token. We'll throw that in just to fill out the deck. Maybe a vampiric elixir. Probably going to pass on that. You might want to maybe throw in a Windcarver blade early game, if that's your style, to kind of get those early game and then swap out. You know what, why don't we do that? So we'll throw in a Windcarver blade just to give us that bonus attack speed until maybe we get our Thunder Cleaver. It would be a good swap out card. We're going to just equip that with some minor power cards there and call it good. Let's load up a bot battle and see what we got here. I've noticed when you pick Serath, the AI tends to pick out a jungler for you, usually a Rampage or a Grux, so it's a little harder to stay in that lane. For the sake of her just being a carry, we're going to go ahead and just go right to the safe lane. I think that's probably where you're going to see her the most. She's pretty squishy though. She's around the same health level as maybe Murdoch or Twin Blast, possibly even a little less. I didn't run the numbers yet, but definitely want to be over there with a support hero who's going to maybe give you some health. I think Narbash would be a great one with his stun ability, or even Grux with his kind of pull and stun. I think maybe Narbash or Steel would be the best. You'd really benefit from the enemy hero being sort of that paralyzed for 2 to 3 seconds. So looks like we're going to be over there with a Richter. Grux is probably going to go to the jungle. Once we get our Thunder Cleaver, we'll go steal those jungle camps, though, just to help us level up real fast and get to that 60 CP so we can see what this build really does. With the version 36 update today, Epic did reduce loading speed. So I think they said they reduced it by 30%. Loading in your game and then loading up into map seemed like it went a little bit faster, which is great. Pretty cool animation there for the start. We've got Serath popping her wings out. See kind of the teleport animation that everyone has. Pretty neat. She spreads those wings wide. They did change the kind of the deck thing today. It doesn't pop up at the top anymore. It comes up right in the middle. I'm going to go with the deck we just built. And let's just start out with some health. She is fairly mana hungry, so you're definitely going to want to take that mana pot with you. And I think probably the best ability to start out with would be her Chastise AoE. The Ascend is going to do more damage, but I believe the Chastise with its slow and its 60 damage at a little bit cheaper cost is the best bet to start off first. Heaven's Fury, not a bad idea, just because it kind of has that little bit of invulnerability action put up to it. See if we can torment these guys a little bit. Having some fun with this poor little Greystone here. Oh, he finally got in a swing. Let's get these minions in the fight. And slow. That slow just great. Lets you kind of continue to hit as they're running away. You can see right now she starts off with 475 health, so definitely not a lot of health. Gonna want to be careful early game. You know, I mean, that's as much as your other carries start off with. So, but with her not having the range, definitely going to want to be more careful in how you approach your engagements. Minions are going to do a lot of damage to you early game, so it's definitely something you got to be worried about. Next, we're going to go right to the Heaven's Fury. Let you take a look at that in a second. We'll kind of conserve a little bit of our mana. Gotta stay out of these engagements with those minions. They just do a ton of damage to you early game. As a carry, again, you're always looking to get those last hits in. I know today as well with the new update, they fixed the kind of cheese you could do over here to the gold buff. You used to be able to allow a teammate to stand right in front of it, and you could do all the damage you wanted, and the gold buff wouldn't attack you. So it was kind of cheesy. I'm glad they patched that. It just makes it a little more fair. Although it was kind of fun to dive in and kind of try to steal that gold buff and cause the aggro to happen when the enemy did have to move eventually. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay, because it's gone now. So again, always trying to get those last hits when you're a carry. We're already up to 3 CXP, so we could probably go back, buy that ward first. Is like always the first thing I like to buy. You know, maybe if you're feeling like you aren't gaining back enough life, she could benefit from some life steal early game. Maybe put on the Sorcerer's Ward that has the basic penetration, a little bit of lifesteal, and a little bit of damage. That might be a good one to start off with. Maybe even starting off with a health token might be a good idea. You know what? That is a great idea. Let's go ahead and just throw that health token on right away. She doesn't have a lot of natural health regen. Um, your teammate carrying a circlet of health might be a great idea for your support in combination with a healer's token. That way you could get up into that 6-7 per second regen. Our Richter is busy bailing out everyone else, which is fine with me. That means we're just going to level up our hero that much faster. Not sure if you guys are aware, but whenever you're in lane with either a support or a carry, you're sharing your XP. So think the formula is whoever gets the last hit on the minion gets 60%, and the other person gets 40%. So you definitely level up slower, which is by design. That way when you're the offlaner on the other side, you're gaining all the experience yourself, and it's slowing down the leveling of the duo that you're going up against, just so that to make it a little bit more fair. You know, if you're on the other side, you're going to get your ultimate quicker. You know, you see a lot of people taking maybe steal or some carries to the off lane early, just so that they can get to that ultimate a little bit faster, and then some rotations happening. I suggest you kind of stick with what works, what Epic has kind of pushed us into, which is that duo on the one side. If you're a carry, probably shouldn't be over there in the off lane alone unless you're really, really good carry. Kind of strange we haven't really run up to any resistance. Want to show you that ultimate as soon as we get a chance. Being conservative, I don't feel like you should be engaging a whole lot early with Serath. She's, like I said, she's just doesn't have a lot of health. See how that ascend takes quite a while, so not really the fastest escape, because you have to kind of do that jump up in the air move first. Definitely maybe not your my best option to do a panic escape out of tower. Missed a couple of last hits there. Always tough when you've got support with you to kind of get that timing right. So there's the Heaven's Fury. You see her kind of float up just a little bit and shoot out those little balls. Those are basic damage. They're not considered ability damage, so don't have to worry about the penetration there. Her Chastise is ability damage, as is her Ascend. So just a Heaven's Fury. Heaven's Fury has pretty low cooldown after you get it leveled up. It's kind of long initially, but it does have a very low cost at only 45. You can be using that quite a lot to escape some damage. Full second there, she's kind of in that animation. Pretty neat. That could be quite a game changer there, staying out of some damage and kind of being invulnerable. We're going to leave Richter solo up here. Let's finish off our Scout's Ward right off the bat. Or, I'm sorry, our Sage's Ward. Going to give us that little bit of bonus damage. I'm going to save up and try to go for my Thunder Cleaver next. That's just going to really help the wave clear, and then combo late game with the little bit of lifesteal we have in this deck. I feel like it's really going to be effective, because that Thunder Cleaver just kind of helping you kick out that extra damage to your cleave is going to be really effective. Let's go ahead and pop the ult here. A little burn versus burn. Got him with the Ascend. That was pretty neat. See, that engagement took a lot out of us. So he did ultimate on us. We did take quite a bit of it. But again, just the lack of health with Serath, and the lack of defense. You know, she might benefit a little from some more basic armor, where you know Greystone kind of has that natural basic armor. It'll be tough, kind of. You maybe have to build your deck out thinking about what the team comp is going to be against you. Whether it's, you know, you've got a lot of heroes dealing basic, or you've got a lot of heroes doing a lot of ability damage. I think she's probably going to be better off almost being assassin-ish with, pulled in with that ult, with just some high burst damage, kind of get in and get out. Possibly a Necro Veil. I could see that being useful. I do use that with Countess, so kind of helps you double slow. Maybe Drink the Spirits might actually be pretty effective on Serath as well. That way she's you know, going to get that heal, 5% heal from everything she kills, which I could see being pretty advantageous to her. That might be something I add to this build. Cooldowns, well, it's still pretty long. 17 seconds. Pretty long cooldown for that ability. The neat part about her Chastise, her R1 or ability, is it doesn't have to be targeted. It's just boom, right in front of you, right off the bat, which is kind of neat. Kind of lets you get it out there a little bit faster. Let's try and get this tower if we can before we back. As a carry, you know, feel free to stay in your safe lane after you've taken that tower. It gets a little tougher to farm over there. I personally think it's a good idea if your carry takes their enemy's T1 tower a little bit early. It's a good idea to have the carry rotate over and help push in that off lane, because if you can then take both sides and maybe the middle lane, it's just going to team up for a lot more early ganks and a lot more rotation. Couple of options here. We could go into the Whirling Wand. I think we've got enough power from the Sage's Ward, so let's go right to our Thunder Cleaver. Gonna get rid of the healer token, just to give us a little boost too, and we could go fill out that with a little bit of speed, and let's see how much quickly we can do some damage now. Probably a good idea to go help our teammate in the jungle, or perhaps defend mid. I think a neat trick might be to maybe go under tower if you're doing if you're trying to secure a kill. Maybe send in Serath first if you've got a teammate with you, to grab the tower aggro, or if you're trying to finish it off, and she could use her Heaven's Fury ability to... Good stuff. Got him finished off. To kind of dodge some of that tower damage initially. She would have to get out rather quickly. As you can see, I keep leveling up the Chastise and the Heaven's Fury. Don't really use the Ascend AoE damage very often. It might be different for you. Just kind of still learning this kit, so... 12-second cooldown, not too bad on her Heaven's Fury. Got a little bit of a team fight going on. As a carry, you know, you want to make sure you're getting in all of those team fights. It's really going to help your team out. Thought maybe that would finish him off, but guess not. Not a big range on that Ascend ability. If you kind of pop the trigger pretty quickly, you can use it a lot faster. It's nice that you can kind of aim it in this high-speed monolith. I think it's probably best you try to pull it off as fast as you can. But as an escape ability, I like how it kind of pulls you up in the air first. Push that wave in. We got 5 CXP. We're going to finish off our Thunder Cleaver, or maybe put 1 into our Thunder Cleaver and to finish it off. And then we need to get some life steal on her. Definitely, she's going to benefit from that. Going to go with the Thirst Fang just because it's going to give us the 5 right off the bat. Looks like we just used her ultimate. Not a super long cooldown on that, which is pretty neat. Use Heaven's Fury to dodge Greystone's ultimate, which is kind of neat. Now that we've got that Thunder Cleaver leveled up too. Uh-oh, about to die here. Yep. Faye. I'll tell you what, Faye has got to be the best AI hero. For some reason, they got her right. She knows how to lay all of her abilities at the right time. We've got a few points to spend. Idea of using the Heaven's Fury to dodge Greystone's ultimate. Probably have to time it better. Wait until that last second. As soon as we get this Thirst Fang built up, we're going to go right to Honor the Pure. That added shield will be great. That would have definitely kept us alive in that situation, going up against that Faye with her slow being applied to us. As a carry hero, again, I mean, kind of hard to think of her as the carry since she doesn't have a ranged attack, but definitely want to be keeping an eye on where your support is. Trying to stick with them. They don't have a lot of wave clear ability, so it's good to kind of help them. That way your towers aren't getting pushed in. We see Richter over there. He's getting kind of beat up, but let's defend this mid lane tower while we're here. And there goes that tower. Gadget with the quick kill. Took off quite a bit of our health. So yeah, it's the one thing I'm not liking so much about Serath. Just not a lot of health on her. Kind of neat there that ability will gain you back health with lifelink, the Heaven's Fury. Oh, I hate Faye. She's so annoying. Damn it. Didn't see her there. It's just the one hero for some reason when I play these bot matches. That Faye she always has my number. That extra slow she has, and then the amount of damage she can do with her Bramble Patch is just quite substantial. You know, as a carry, you're probably going to want to be with your support most of the time, just so you're not getting into those situations. You're letting them engage first. She doesn't quite have the damage output of, say, Countess or Kalari to really secure the kill quickly enough for how little health she has. You're going to need a little bit more sustain on her, I feel. It's really hard to get in there in those engagements and not take damage. That's, again, why we're going to try to get the Honor of the Pure on her maybe a little sooner than later. Perhaps I should have gone to that instead of the Thirst Fang early. Just kind of squishy. But pretty fun. It's always neat when the new hero comes out. I don't suggest taking her into PvP until you've played a few bot matches with her. don't really suggest taking her at all in any hero match unless you've got you know, maybe a full team that's going to let you get away with it. But she just she's going to be picked by everyone constantly, so kind of a neat trick there trying to pull. And we're doing a lot of damage, but she's got to stay right in the middle of the fight, so it can be a little detrimental to your health. Let's wait for that slow. Thundercleaver helping us get just a little bit more health regen off these minion waves. Want to be careful we don't get too low. Letting our minions do the work when we can, especially against these AI heroes. A little bit of invulnerability time, pretty neat. Like that ascend just to kind of close the gap and do a little bit of damage and a finisher. I feel like that's a great finisher. Has a pretty short cooldown, so you can initiate with it and then use it to escape as well. You know what? We do have 6 CXP, so let's go right to Honor the Pure. Gonna use that in place of our mana pot. I like to put the Thundercleaver as my down D-pad just because I feel like it's easier to get right from my left stick to that. You know, if you're playing on a keyboard, obviously it's a little bit easier to access those skills. See what her wave clear is like. Kind of neat. You can stay up there for quite a while before you have to pull the trigger on that. Vulnerability, pretty neat. Pretty fast wave clear in the jungle. Definitely as a carry, that's going to really help you kind of get that card advantage. So let's spend some time out here just beating up some jungle minions. We'll burn our mana down fast and clear out these jungle camps. Using that Thundercleaver to help clear out those minion waves a little bit faster. I feel like jungle camp's going to be great. The jungle buff is going to be a great thing for Serath just because of that extra little bit of durability it'll give her. I really think with her Ascend ability, she could be a great ganker and a great jungle hero too, just for the simple fact that she can come out of lane and just really surprise some enemies. You know, say you've got a few your support and carry from the opposite side is over here. Let's see how easy it would be to get right up, you know, because normally they have a ward, you know, over here so that they don't get caught from behind. But if you can come through the jungle and get up there above them, that'd be a pretty good sneaky trick. I see Fang Mao do that a lot. Gideon, if you're coming from mid lane, he's a great one to do that with. Thundercleaver, love that card. I don't know how he did not see us, but we'll take it. I was worrying about my other ability coming into effect, but hey, why not? Yeah, she does have quite the, feels a lot like Countess with that sweeping ability she has. Love Thundercleaver. It just allows you to dish out damage so quick with that really short cooldown it has. We got quite a bit of points here. Let's go finish off this few cards. See a nice big health spike here, or damage spike here from completing that card. Health's up to 1280, level 12, not bad. Probably at this point in time you'd want to be careful. Either Kalari or Countess could probably come in and delete you fairly fast with a burst of their abilities. She does a lot of damage fast, that is for sure. Keep an eye on my channel. I'll probably be making a few changes here and there to oh, I thought maybe I could finish him off with that, but oh well. Always want to take advantage of that snowball when you've got a big group of minions there. It's kind of nice with this lifelink, we can dip into the jungle and gain back a substantial amount of her health and secure some CXP and starve the enemy farm as well. That is kind of a neat ability. Kind of stand there and absorb some damage. Let's come back. We'll hit this raptor camp, see what we can do. We could ditch our mana potion and kind of fill out with a little bit more. Wow, we just lost an inhibitor. I can't believe that, but alright. Yeah, wow. In a team fight, it's gonna be hard to deal a lot of damage to everyone and not get beat up. That's for sure. Gonna leave that health potion on for as long as we can, just because we definitely need it. Darn it. Kind of neat there. We did get out of Iggy's little push at the end of his ultimate, so that's a neat trick there to get out of a little bit of crowd control. With her, I keep forgetting the names of all her abilities, her Heaven's Fury. Yeah, at level 4 the cooldown on that went down substantially, so that might be the go-to, would be to unlock that all the way up just for that added invulnerability it has. I think that would probably be my new path. You know, I mean, the Chastise definitely helps your wave clear with the slow, helps you finish off those heroes. But I think the invulnerability with how little health she has is definitely the way to go. So I'll have to keep note of that. I'm wanting to upgrade that Heaven's Fury as fast as possible. About to get our core hit a little bit. They did buff the damage that the core puts out now. I believe it was 0.8, and they brought it up to, or the rate at which it fires was brought up, and I believe the damage was brought up. So The minion waves don't quite do as much damage to the core as they used to, but they still do a substantial amount of damage. Definitely don't leave them there by themselves. Let's spend the time and push this wave back. Hitting for 213, not too bad. You know, not as much as maybe some other heroes hit for, other carries hit for, but still hitting pretty heavy. And then with her grip of abilities that she has, she can probably dish out more damage faster. But I believe you're going to have to coordinate it fairly well with your teammates. Didn't take much damage there thanks to the ability. We'll use our Honor the Pure. Negate a little bit more damage. Thought maybe we could port over that, but no. Wow, that minion wave was hitting hard. Kind of neat there. Got 116 health back from that wave, so lifesteal I feel definitely the way to go with Serath, because that basic just gives her so much invulnerability. Hope the game doesn't finish here. I was trying to get to a full build. I was trying to take it slow. That finishes off all of our damage and utility cards. Oh, wait, no, it does not. I'm sorry. We still have a Voidsteel Dagger we can equip. Sometimes go to that a little bit earlier, just for the additional penetration. Pardon me. I feel like the lifelink, though, probably need to throw a little bit more lifelink. You know, I mean, she is new today, so everybody's still kind of learning what's going to work with her and what's not. And then that looks like that's going to be game. Too bad. Wanted to finish off my build, see a little bit more. It's hard to do in these bot matches. Jungling would probably get her up there a little bit faster. Like I said, definitely going to throw a little bit more early lifelink, or sorry, I keep saying lifelink, lifesteal on Serath, and comboed with the damage. I feel like that would be pretty effective. She's gonna need that lifesteal to keep her in the fight longer and not just get melted down. You know, I'd like to see her head to head with a good Twin Blast or a Murdoch. Be kind of interesting just to see how those fights would play out. Murdoch probably take the advantage on that just because he's got that push to kind of separate a little bit. Alright guys, well that's a quick look at Serath. Please leave me any comments, questions, concerns, and don't forget to subscribe. Happy gaming.